Hello, this is Asad and I'm going to be continuing my tutorial for integrating a Photos display picker and an iOS app using compositional layout. So I was reviewing the WWDC videos for adding the Photos displayer, the Photos picker view controller using the new PH Picker View Controller API, and I kind of noticed that there was a different method for actually implementing this function for multi-selection of photographs. So instead of this sort of item provider can load object, which loads the first item only that we select in our photos. What we need is to select all the photos. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the dismiss animated true code line from here, and I'm going to put it back up here. And I'm going to delete this part of the code here. And I'm going to basically open a file which I was taking notes from the WWDC video in a separate playground file here. And this is what sort of the person who was doing the demonstration in the video was saying to do. I think I need to have a look at some of the types here first, because I haven't really done any digging or research into the different types so that we can discuss it. So I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Hi. So I've had another look at the WWDC video about how to get multi-selection for items. I was showing the code snippet which I got from the WWDC video earlier, and I said I would look at the different types. So I did review that, and basically I decided to just write my own implementation because I didn't want to use the iterator that they're using in their example. So instead I'm using a for and loop here in this code snippet to loop through the results. So this basically should provide us with the image, the images that we select. And inside of here, I'm just appending the image to an images array, which I created here, which is an array of UI image. And I'm going to basically use this as my source for the state of the data that I'm going to apply to my data source. So I'm going to be changing my data source item identifier type from int to UI image. So I need to update that change as well here, UI image. And this I'm going to come back to. So this is cannot convert value of type NS diffable data source snapshot photos display review controller dot section int to expected argument type NS diffable data source snapshot photo display review controller dot section UI image. So I need to also change this to UI image. which means I can no longer append my numbers data. So instead I'm gonna just put my images data here to section main. And I'm going to call this update snapshot method. Here, after I finish my foreign loop. So I'm gonna say self dot update initial snapshot. So I just need to check here. So I'm dequeuing my reusable cell with the use identifier photo cell. So what I really need is to basically add a image view to my cell in my storyboard, and I'm gonna then create a custom class for my cell, subclassing collection view cell, and I'm gonna use that as my custom class in my storyboard so I can update the image on the cell in this data source provider callback. So I'm gonna go to my main.storyboard here. So see, I have the photo cell here. So I'll start by creating a new file from template. And this is going to be a Swift file, and I'm going to call it my just photo cell, like that. And I'm going to put import UI kit. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to say class photo cell, so subclass is UI collection view cell. And it's going to have the image view, which is going to be the, I'm going to call it photo image view. So I'm going to go back to my storyboard and change the class of the photo cell to so here I click the attributes inspector and I go to class and I change this to photo cell. Okay, so then I'm gonna add a image view to my cell. So I'm gonna click here on this plus icon, and I'm gonna say image view, and I'm gonna drag this into my cell. And the image view, I want to install 4 constraints. So they're going to be 4 constraints with 0 spacing to the edges of the cell itself. So it's going to be the content view. Okay. For the foreign, I'm going to add 4 constraints, and that's going to fill the whole cell with the image view. So I'm going to go back to my photo cell and go to the split view editor mode. I'm going to go main here, click on my view controller, and I'm just going to control drag from my I'm going to drag from my outlet and my photo cell to the image view itself, like that. Right, I'm just thinking if there's anything else I need to set up here. I think this should be good, yeah. So I'll close this and I'll go to my photos displayer view controller. And here I'm going to say let cell equals collection view dot dequeue reusable cell with reuse identifier photo cell for index path. I'm gonna say as photo cell, and I'm gonna use a guard statement. So guardlet as photo cell else return, or I'm gonna say fatal error message could not dequeue reusable cell. Photo cell. Okay. And so here I'm gonna say cell dot photo image view dot image equals. So since my identifier is UI image in this case, I'm just gonna say, really it should just do this, it'll be identifier. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna build and run and see what results I get. Hopefully this works. Let's see. So I'm just gonna click the icon here and I'm gonna select just one photo and then I'm gonna select add. So I don't see anything reflected in the UI. I do see this message here that says PHPicker view controller delegate private doesn't respond to Picker did perform confirmation action. I can try to Google this and see what I'm getting. Right, so I've seen these results in the last video, I think, so I'm not going to look through this again. I'm not going to really pay attention to this message right now. So I'm just gonna set a breakpoint here and see if I'm actually like getting any image data and see if I'm appending it to my array of images. So I'm gonna go back to my simulator and click here and click so it's already selected, so I'm gonna add. So I do see that it's saying self.images.append. There is an image here, so I'm gonna run this, or let this continue. So now it's appearing. I'm not sure why it hasn't appeared in the first place, but now it is. I'm just gonna try again, so I'm gonna click this icon and select some more pictures. So I'm gonna select them all and do add. So when I set the breakpoint, I see that I'm getting back the image data, but it's showing 2 of the same photo and not, you know, all the images, which doesn't really make sense. Let me see if I set a breakpoint here, what happens. So if I go to simulator and I select this, I'm just gonna deselect some and I'm gonna just select the first 3. So this self gets called before I get my results data back. So this isn't really good. If I do an option click on this, okay, here. Okay, I see. This is an escaping closure, which means that it's asynchronous, which means that this might return like at an unknown time. We don't know when this will return any image data. So what I'm going to do is, or I should probably explain this better. So an escaping closure means the function will escape. So this method, so the block here doesn't run synchronously. So let me just do a quick what is in escaping closure. Swift. So let's see. So first things first, what is a closure? Think of a closure as a little package of code you can pass around and use later. It's like writing a note to yourself to remember to do something later. And Swift closures are used a lot, especially when you're dealing with tasks that need to be done at a later time, like fetching data from the internet. Now let's talk about escaping closures. Imagine you're asking your friend to buy you ice cream. You give them the money and say, come back with the ice cream when you're done. In programming, this is similar to what happens with escaping closures. In Swift, a closure is said to escape a function when it is passed as an argument to the function, but it is called after the function has returned. This means the closure can escape the current context and be used later. Here's a simple example to understand. So, function buy ice cream, completion, escaping, closure. This closure, print friend is going to buy ice cream, dispatch queue, main async after deadline, print. Okay, buy ice cream takes it. So buy ice cream takes a closure called completion as an argument. The escaping keyword tells us that this closure will be used later, not immediately. Okay, so I'm gonna close this, go back to my code. So what this is saying is that the method will be allowed to exit the scope of the method, but that this closure can be can be called at a later after the function returns. So because I want the UI to update after I actually update my images data, what I'm gonna do is I can just add it here instead. So I'm gonna say self.update initial snapshot here. And I'm gonna stop and rerun. So I'm gonna select one photo again and I'm gonna click add. So this breakpoint shows that this gets called, and then we do see the picture there, and then I'm gonna, let's say, add. What happens if I click these 2 more photos and then add? So again, this This gets called 3 times. So what I should really do here is say if self.images.contains image as UI image. So if it doesn't contain, then I want to append here. So I'm going to build and run. So I can add a picture and say add. And it appears, and then I can say I want 2 more and click add. Yeah, this is still showing sort of a duplicate picture, which is really not what I want. So I'm going to examine my update initial snapshot. So I'm declaring a snapshot NSDiffable data source snapshot section UI image. Snapshot.append items images to section main. Data source.apply snapshot animating differences true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say snapshot.delete all items from section I'm not sure it has an all items. Yeah, just delete all items. And append items images to section main. So I'm going to try this modification. There are currently no sections at data source. Please add a section first. Currently no sections. Please add a section first. Hold on, let me actually see the behavior of this block of code here first. So if I add one image, this gets called once, which is expected. And if I add, let's say, a second image, I expect this to be called twice, once for each image here. So I get 1, 2, so the breakpoint is called twice, and really what my images array should contain is just the number of items so if I let me print the number of images that are in my array. So I'm going to do print images.count here and see. So I'm gonna click add and try to add this one. So this says I have one image in my array, okay. And then if I try to add this, then really I only expect to have 2 items in my array. So let's see what happens. So I have 2 in the first call, and then I have 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say item provider.load object of class type. Maybe whenever I load this for result and results, I'm gonna just clear my images array. So I'm gonna say images equals empty. And then I'm gonna try again. So click. If I select one image, then I get one image in my array. And if I select 2, then I get 1, 2, and then, yeah. So then if I select them all, I should get them all appearing. Right, okay. So I think I'm happy with this result because I'm seeing all the images kind of appearing in my display here. So I'm just gonna end the tutorial now, and I'm going to commit this code and share it in the repo so you can have a closer look at it if you need to. So thanks for your time, and hopefully see you in another video in the future. Bye.